There are a few servers that I could recommend to new players coming into World of Warcraft, or those of you that have played World of Warcraft in the past and now are going back. I will both name specifically few servers and realms, and I will also mention what you should be looking for when you're getting into World of Warcraft as a new player. And this is a little bit of an exception. I would normally recommend servers like Warmane that have been out for a long time, but the downside of this is that their realms are already fully progressed and there's a bunch of players in best in slot gear that know every little thing, every little trick about the game, the expansion, their class. So catching up with these people in terms of both knowledge and your equipment, your skill, and all these things will prove to be really difficult, and you will struggle being any competitive with these players. However, Warmane is coming out with a fresh realm called Onyxia. This realm will be launching on the 18th of November, which is only few days out as of recording this video, and that will be a progression through expansions, which we don't really see often. We'll start on vanilla, go through the Burning Crusade, all the way to Wrath of the Lich King, so we have guaranteed 3 expansion, if we call vanilla expansion, of things to do, where everyone starting from level 1, and Warmane, as one of the very few private server projects, has the longevity, the history, has probably the highest chance of actually succeeding with a long-term schedule when it comes to releasing progressive content and expansions. So I'm definitely going to give this one a try myself, and it is definitely one of my top picks for a private server realm for a new or returning player. One of the servers worth mentioning, I think, is Firestorm, although the negative about this project is that since it progresses to the newest expansion faster than any other project, that also comes with many downsides, especially the glitches, the bugs, that the content isn't 100% working, and so a new player may struggle even though you may be able to find a guide on how to do certain quest or certain activity in the game. It may just not work that way on Firestorm. But the good thing about the server is the longevity, is the constant progression, and it's also that it always starts new on the new expansion, where not many players are familiar with the expansion anyway. So if you're a new player, you don't have that much of catching up to do with the others, because others are learning the game together with you. They're learning about the new expansion, about the new class design and everything. And the server is always really active and pretty popular. It just never goes below some 2,500 players in the evenings. It is now 11 p.m. in EU, which is about some 2 to 3 hours after peak time. And on their number 1 realm, which is Oribos right now, Shadowlands, at the end of its progression, by the way, there's still almost 2,000 players, so there's about 2,500 players at peak in the evening. And with the coming of Dragonflight, the newest expansion, in probably a few months from now, you can expect the numbers of population increase by quite a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see 3,000 to 4,000 players online on Dragonflight once it comes out to Firestorm. Another private server project worth mentioning is Twinstar. This one has been out for probably 15 years right now, and they just recently came out with another fresh Cataclysm realm, which is pretty popular. Their newest realm is called Athena. It is a fresh realm. That means everybody starts from scratch from level 1, levels their characters up to max level, gets all their gear, all their mounts from zero. So if you join a fresh server that only launched a few days ago, there's not really much catching up to do. Although majority of players are probably familiar with the expansion, so you will be behind in terms of knowledge of the expansion, the classes, and how to do things. But generally, a fresh server is a good choice for a new player. And as I mentioned, this server has a long history behind it, so it's probably not going anywhere. Unfortunately, the flavor of these past few years in World of Warcraft, and especially in the private server scene, is that everybody wants to come with fresh, and that means their older realm dies. On Twinstar, that means the original Apollo, their Cataclysm realm, is now pretty much dead, with some 200 to 300 players at peak maximum, which is super low. And the final mention I'm gonna give to Warmane, fairly newish project. They came out with their Cataclysm in March 2023, which now is 8 months ago. It became extremely popular. It is the go-to Cataclysm private server at the moment. And although their Maelstrom realm, which is the OG Cataclysm realm on Whitemane, is almost at the end of its progression, Whitemane already has stated they are planning to release a fresh Cataclysm in probably early 2024, which may be some 3-4 months away realistically. Right now I don't think we have a set in stone date yet. So that's another fresh realm by a somewhat established private server project already, which I'm sure will be extremely popular since it's releasing before Cataclysm Classic will be on retail, so everybody will want to practice. And that is already happening now that many people are jumping into private servers for the Cataclysm expansion. That is why Whitemane's Maelstrom and also Twin Stars Athena are so popular right now. And Whitemane's also planning on releasing a Wrath of Lich King realm in early 2024, which will also be starting fresh. So you have two options for two different expansions, two different realms, both starting fresh and both starting in early 2024 on this same private server project, which I think realistically could be one of the best for the upcoming years even, because having 4,000 plus players every single evening for several months and holding on to it and even increasing its popularity, that's not a coincidence. So these would be the 3-4 servers that I could think of off the top of my head that could be really good for new players to World of Warcraft, especially for the reasons mentioned, that you don't want to have a fully progressed realm where everybody's best installed and everybody knows the game and knows what to do, already beat the game. You want something where people are still leveling, still improving, still getting their gear, conquering the first raids and so on, ideally, so you can progress alongside with them and you're not just catching up all the time. That I think is the number one criteria. Unfortunately, with these fresh realms, you never really know how long they would last, and that's why I also chose the more famous, the more historically successful servers and private server projects that have proven themselves over the years. Especially Twin Star's been around for 15 years, Warmane's been around for 8+ years, Whitemane's relatively new but very popular and has already proven themselves, and Firestorm's been around for like a decade as well. So I think you wouldn't go wrong with any of these, but keep in mind fresh realms may just die as soon as another fresh realm comes out from a similar project or even from this very same private server project. That's my best advice to you. I hope you liked this video. If yes, click the like button, subscribe, check MADMONQ and their products, which have been so kind to support this channel. Link in the video description, and I will see you in the next video.